Hello everybody, Tracy Sizemore, RPG A Day, day 15. Welcome back from KCON to me, and it was awesome, by the way. You don't care, and I know you don't care, but I certainly have a hierarchy of experiences that are among the top experiences I've had in my life. This ranks among those. I don't know where it ranks quite yet, but it's up there. And it just reinforces my viewpoint on life that experiences are more important than stuff. Just one of those little things that you hopefully will, that you kind of learn as you get older. Having lots of things doesn't matter. Having great experiences does, and it's part of why I go to gaming cons and why I do stuff like KCON. Anyway, it was awesome. I will not bore you with the details, even though I would love to talk about it. But I will not. The question of the day is, describe a tricky RPG experience that you enjoyed. And I sort of cheated on this because I watched my friend Ron Blessing's answer before I recorded this. Usually I record these ahead of time, but today I've been very busy at work, and I am busy right now. I'm taking time to do this because I want to keep on top of it, but I got to get back to work. So Ron's answer was a game called TikTok Dead, written and run by our friend Camden Wright. I know I've mentioned Camden Wright before last year at RPG A Day, and I will mention him again. He's one of the best GMs I've ever seen. There's no best for me. There's a bunch of people who count among the best. And Camden definitely counts among the best. So if you ever have a chance to play in a Camden Wright game, I would highly recommend it. And so would Ron, by the way. So you have two people who agree on that one. Anyway, Ron, I will see your Camden Wright game, and I will raise you another Camden Wright game. So Ron talked about TikTok Dead, which I played in, not in the same game that Ron played in, but another session of it that was run at ChupacabraCon last year, which is in Austin, Texas. Great game, awesome. Well, everything Ron described is exactly right. It was tricky, and it was tense, and it had all those elements. However, the game that I'm going to describe that I feel was tricky was DOA, and another game written and run by Camden Wright. And that one I played in July at Crit Hit, this last July. So the conceit of that game is that you are police officers, and you respond to a call with somebody who's got some kind of bomb strapped to their chest or whatever in a subway, I think, station. And when you get there, you get situated and starting to try to deal with the problem, and the bomb goes off. So it turns out the bomb is not a destructive bomb physically so much as it is a chemical or biological weapon bomb. So when it goes off, the entire party gets infected with a deadly disease that's going to kill them in 4 hours. So I think it was botulism, but the details of that don't really matter. You're going to be dead in 4 hours. At that point, Camden gets an iPad, gets a huge timer going on it, and starts the, clock. 4 hours, I think it maybe about 3 hours, 30 minutes, because at that point, we had gone an opening and all that stuff. So anyway, we're going to die in a matter of hours, and it's going to be real time in the game. So he puts this timer on the table, which, awesome idea, But more than that, what made it really tricky was, yes, we're trying to solve this problem. Like, who is responsible for this? How do we stop them from doing it again? Because they ended up having a person there who died with the bomb on their chest, but that was not the perpetrator of the problem. We had other bigger fish to fry. And so because we were in the unique position of already having been exposed to this disease, and not wanting others to be exposed to it. We were the first line of, okay, go out and deal with another threat, right? So over the course of the game, we had to deal with several of these, and we were on a timer. We were going to die in like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So the brilliance of it was that he also made our characters in a way that we had connections outside the game. One of us had a cat who was the only thing we had in our lives. That was a character played by my friend Michael Kahn, who's another awesome player. And others had like an ex-wife. I had a husband and 2 kids. And so that was on the character sheet. We didn't have to engage with them, but I took the lead on that, and I resolved myself once I realized I was going to die, that I was going to call my husband and maybe talk to my kids every hour after that. So on the hour of the timer, I would stop what I was doing, within reason, get on my cell phone and call my husband and kids. And that was tricky. I decided that that's what I was going to do. And the first hour was hard because I didn't want to tell my husband what was going on, that I was going to die, all that. I just wanted to hear my kids' voices, right? But every hour after that got harder. And this was my decision. It wasn't something that Camden enforced on us. I just decided I was going to do this. And in doing it, I'm pretty sure that I helped drag, kicking and screaming, every other player at the table to realize exactly what this game was about. Because by the end, and I think this happens normally, not just because of me, but normally this happens, by the end, when they are going to die, when the timer expires, Camden gives everybody a chance. Do you want to call anybody? Now, you've hopefully solved the problem by that point. And we had, barely. We barely got it in time. But at the end of the game, he asked whether you want to call anybody. And I had already been calling people on the hour, every hour. So by the time my 4th call came, I was a wreck, both as a character and as a player. I mean, I was not outright crying, but I was hiding. I mean, I had some really good players at the table. A couple of some really good friends playing with me, including Camden. Camden's a very good friend of mine. And so I was exposed, and I allowed myself to feel all those horrific, awful feelings that you might feel when you are about to die and you have to tell your loved ones that you're not going to see them again. I was just like, I mean, my body language was really difficult. Like I was, hiding like this and fretting over this call and just trying to get through it. It was a tricky RPG experience. I did enjoy it because of the experience that Camden gave me and the other players at the table gave me in that game. But man, it was hard, really hard. And I can see why it would be too much for some people. And it depends on how actively you are willing to allow yourself to be vulnerable in that situation. If you don't have to engage with that, to engage with the people that you're connected with in the game, but everybody did at the table that I was at, and we had a bunch of people crying at the end of the game. It was tricky, but it was one of those things you're not going to forget. So, anyway, if you ever have a chance to play with Camden Wright, and not even just don't be scared by the emotional vulnerability he might engender in you, because he's not only a powerful storyteller and GM in terms of setting up situations that are hard, but he's also just a fun GM. He can make you laugh easily. He puts you at ease. He is one of the kindest people I've ever met, and so if you ever have a chance to play with Camden, jump at the chance, I'm telling you, because it will enlighten you in terms of your RPG experience. Okay, Camden's one of my inspirations. Anyway, I gotta stop there because I gotta get to work. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.